Hey, what is up, squad? TITOBODS here, and I know everyone is waiting for a gem guide from me. It's been a while since I made a gem guide for everybody, and I think it's this video right here. And if you still want to check it out before we continue with this one, or before you continue with this video right here, you can do so. I will leave a link down in the description so that you can compare what we have before and what we have now here in this video. But as always, before we do that, don't forget to like the video first, share this one with your friends or alliances so that you can help with our algorithm. Now also, if you are new to the channel, you like this kind of content, or if you are playing Age of Empires Mobile, please give us love by subscribing if you haven't yet, and ring the bell so you will always be notified soon as we have a new video just for you guys. Anyway, as I've said, we're going to have portion today of a gem guide. Now, why did I say portion? I don't want you guys to be overloaded with information right now, and I will focus only on three major gems that I think you need clarity on, because these three major gems actually has the potential difference when you build your gems for your heroes. And I know this will help you guys with your building process, and here it is. So we're going to start with three gems that are actually important. This gem actually helps your troop. But before we continue with that, let's identify first the three type of gems. Now, the three type of gems, for those of you guys who already know, is the strategy, the hero, and the tactics. Now, I would like for you guys to understand the difference between these three. So for the strategy, these are the gems that actually has your bonuses for your troops. When I say troops, it's for your units, for your individual unit in the march. So this is not for your heroes. The bonuses are not added to your heroes per se, but added to each individual troops. Now, for those of you guys who still doesn't know yet the individual troops that I am talking about, it's actually this one. So for each individual troops, for example, here in the pikeman, we have your troop. Per troop, you will have your own power. You will have your own attack. You will have your own health, your defense, load, and of course, speeds. And actually, there is actually also extra elimination rate depending if you already have your boost on this one. Now, as I've said, this is the individual troop that I am talking about when I am talking about the strategy gems. So they are the benefactor of your strategy gems. Now, going back to the three gem types, we also have the hero, which gives off attributes to your hero, like for example might. You have strategy, all attributes, which gives you might, strategy, armor, and siege, because it's all attributes. We also have, of course, your armor, because we have that as a part of the attributes of the heroes. And last but not the least is of course your siege, which is also part of the attributes of your hero. Everything that you can see in a hero per se, the might, the armor, the strategy, the siege, these are actually what is composed of your hero gems. Now, next is the tactics. What is the tactics gem? For those of you guys who I want you guys to understand this tactic gems, because it's really important for your heroes. If the hero gems gives your heroes the attributes, the tactics gems gives your hero their bonus traits. Like for example, this one, the active gems. The hero's active skill damage increases using this active gems. I just want to make sure that you guys understand that when you say active skill gem skill damage, it actually just pertains to a hero that has a damage skill, like your Ramesses. That is actually an active skill. But I just want you guys to understand that in active skill gem, that is the point. Also, other tactic gems, same as that one, like your passive gems, also works that way. When you say passive gem, it will give you damage, skill damage to a passive skill of a hero that already produces damage. So for the passive skills of the hero that doesn't gives up damage, it won't have an effect even if you use this kind of gem. So I just want to be clear on that. Now, for the main topic of our day today, I am going to talk about the three gems in your strategy, which are actually for me the major gems that you should use in the game. And actually, I will differentiate these three gems just for you so that you could understand it way better. So we're going to use this as an example. So we have the strategy unit defense, strategy unit health, and strategy unit capacity. Now, these are the three unit gems or strategy gems that we are going to focus today, and I will give you a solid differentiation of each one. So let's first talk about defense gems. So a defense or an all-unit defense up gem increases your troops' defensive stats. Like for example, it reduces the damage they take. Now this helps them survive longer in the battle against enemy attacks that is from a burst type of damage skill, or maybe if you are expecting heavy incoming damage or fighting evenly matched enemies. So that's how the defense gem work. Now for the health gem, or what we call an all unit health up gem, this increases the total HP or hit points or health points of your units. Now in other words, every soldier or every unit in your troops that I was talking about earlier becomes sturdier with higher based health, and so even if they take damage, they can take more before getting wiped out. This is actually good if you are faced against a crit type damage or maybe a long-term type of damage. So if burst damage is best, or defense gem is good against burst damage, the health gem is actually one of the best to take also on not just burst damage but also long-term damage. Now for the troop capacity or unit capacity gem or capacity up gem, whatever you call it, now this gem increases how many units or how many troop on your march can hold. So your troop minimum or your troop maximum count for that march is actually noted on this. More troops equals, more total damage output because of the troop capacity. So this is not just additional health, additional defense for your troops because you increase the troops number, but you will also add additional damage because each troop have their own damage, health, and defense. So that's what's going to be added here. More resource also gathered if you are looking to get that. And higher bulk strength, of course, as I've said, because of the attributes. In effect, this gem ups your overall march size or army size. Now, I want to focus next on the pros and cons of each use of these gems. Now, for the defense, the pros are actually less damage taken per hit, better survivability against strong attacks, as I've said earlier. Now, the cons doesn't really increase your HP and increase your number of units, but if you get hit hard, as I've said earlier, this defense may save you a little bit if the damage was from a burst type of damage. Now, you can best use this gem when you expect heavy damage or burst, as I've said, and also an instant type of damage that can be maybe from, let's say, a commander skill or a huge damage output from a hero. Now, for the health gems, when talking about the pros, units have more HP, thus giving you longer time to survive under a sustained damage. So that's why I said that if you are actually going to go for a long battle, your health gem actually will help you up. So let's say the health gem will really help a lot if you are in a rally also. So not just the battlefield, but also in the rally. You put your health gems on a tanky unit and you will do a lot in the battlefield. Now, the cons for the health gems are it doesn't really reduce damage taken. It will only prolong the battle because of the number of health. And of course, you can actually still multiply this to the number of troops in your army. Now, best use you want more durability per unit if I were you. In prolonged fights, as I've said, like the rallies or when units are individually fragile, you can actually use the health gem to make them a little bit sturdier. Now, for the troop capacity, the biggest pro of this one is the bigger the army you have, the more units you have, the more overall damage output and bulk sustainability you will have, because, as I've said, each number of troop capacity that will be added will give you those attributes with your troops, like your attack, your defense, and also your health. The con, on the other hand, so unit individually are no stronger even if you have more of this. So it will still depend on the power of the hero that you're going to attack, and also between your power and that enemy troop's power. Now, another thing is that it costs more to heal, number one, and manage casualties. So if you have more capacity, you will have more troops to think about for your healing, more deaths in the field when you fight, and also, of course, as I've said, it will give you more cost per unit. Now, the best use of the troop capacity is you want to be swarmed because the higher your troop capacity has, the more troop you can actually handle to be attacking your unit. So this is actually one of the best pairings for your health gems. Let's say on a very tanky march, with your health gems, this will actually really give you a lot of edge in the battlefield. Now, it also gives you damage, so in a way, it will help with the overall function and effectiveness of your troop in the battlefield. You can also use this in gathering, like for MGE, you need more troops. So, like for example, you want to have more troop load, you can use the troop capacity gems in special times like that. If you are participating there, it will actually also help you a little bit. Now, also for the rally potential, if you are a strong player, for example, you have 140 levels already on your heroes, and then you have, let's say, 140k troop capacity. So in a rally, you will occupy 140k space for the 2 million space, for example. And having said that, if you use a troop capacity buffs, you will even have more, like for example, let's say 170,000 troop capacity in the rally. So you will occupy that. So there is only a few more spaces remaining in the rally. So you will avoid you will make the rally really, really strong for that 170 troops for a 100 level 140 heroes and power. So that's actually a good thing if you're going to ask me to be added on a specific rally. What is the best gem between these three? Now, it actually depends on your goal or situation in the game, as I've said. Now, for powerful show of force, or maybe massive marches, well, capacity gems tends to give you the biggest bang because more units, as I've said earlier, equals more damage, more presence, more health, more attack, more and more and more. Now, the only thing about, as I've said, capacity is the cost. So your troop capacity will always have a cost, especially if you are using a troop capacity buff. That is going to be a problem for you because if you are a player that is on the middle of the food chain and you're attacked by a shark, for example, or a whale, then you are going to have a problem with that, and you will have more deaths, more casualties, more healing, and you will have more cost. So that's the only downside of using really a troop capacity gem. If you have the health gems for sustained fights, drawn out battles, or maybe when focusing on survivability, health gems themselves tend to be more reliable because each unit lasts longer. It is great if your, let's say, troops take a lot of damage over time, or if your casualty would hurt you more, let's say. Now, the thing is for me, the combination of your the combination of your health gems together with your troop gems in your lineup is actually the best way to go. So that's actually what I am also using right now. Now, for balanced defense, when facing high damage, as I've said, enemies, like for example, burst type of damages, you really need defense in a way. Now, defense gems have value, especially if you expect burst damage and enemy units that hit really hard. But you know, defense alone is often seen as less effective compared to your health or capacity gem unless paired with the buffs, as I've said. Now, as for a practical recommendation, if you ask me, for most players, especially mid-game to free-to-play, I prioritize capacity gem first, then health gems for survivability, which should always be present in your troop build, and pick maybe defense 1 or 2 in the overall build. But ideally, you want to mix enough capacity for bulkiness of your troop and health for durability. And as I've said, only 1 or 2 defense gem is enough for your troops. Now, if you tell me your playstyle maybe, or if you have other suggestions on this 3 gems and potentially other gems in the list, maybe you can leave a comment down below. And if ever you have any thoughts on this video or more, or you have your own suggestions and recommendations, please feel free to use the comments as your safe space. But anyway, guys, I think that will sum up this video. So I will show you guys. Now I will show you my current build for my gems just on my one lineup here. So let's go with the Apex Arena. We are not really doing good right now in the Apex Arena, but here it is. So let me show you my gem build. So right now my gems here are attack, as you can see, but I have one defense gem, but it's actually red one, If you're going to ask how many gems are there, just do your count. But this is like 3 red gems before you can get a unit defense 1. So I have one of those, but I have 4 health gems in each of my other remaining heroes, and 4 troop capacity gems as my last one. So as I've said, I am using combinations of all these gems, and health gems and troop capacity gems actually helps me out. I can do a 3 troop capacity here and 5 health gems. In a way, it will make this lineup even stronger. But for the Cyrus March with Freddy and Mansa, other players are doing let's say 6 health gems, 4 troop capacity gems, and 2 defense gems. So that's what they are using. Actually, it is efficient even if you don't have attack gems there. It really works well with the lineup. But this is how my gems works right now. I really need a little bit more of the attack for my gems. But anyway, as I've said, the combination of these 3 are important. Now, the number 1 or top tier here is, for me, as I've said, the top tier here is either health or troop capacity depending on your needs. So for me, right now, for more survivability, health gems is number 1, troop capacity gems is number 2, and then defense gem is number 3, and you really need to pick just 1 or 2 defensive gems for your overall troop. And you can actually do more health than troop capacity, and then just boost your troop capacity if needed with the troop capacity buffs when you are in the battlefield. That way, you can get still your troop capacity and then enjoy the amount of health you can get from your health gems. So that is my main tip and recommendation for you guys when it comes to these 3 specific gems. I hope I clarified that for everyone, and hope this video helps you out in every way possible to make your troops and your lineups stronger than ever. And if this video helps you out, please not just like this video, but also share it. Share it in all your social medias, your friends, your alliances. And if you're into the channel, you bump into this video and you like the content, or if you're playing Age of Empires Mobile, give us love or support the channel by subscribing if you haven't yet, and ring the bell so you will always be notified as soon as we have a video like this uploaded in the channel. And having said that, as always, squad, have a great day to everyone. This is your TITOBODS, and I will see you in the next one.